You're welcome to another episode of How to Find Buyer Abroad by DBA TV. In this episode, we'll be talking about a mistake you must avoid when you are trying to look for buyer. There's a common mistake that many people make when they're trying to look for buyer. And many people don't know the implication of that mistake, actually. People want to go, someone to look or get buyer abroad and they go online. We have a pack called Eureka pack that teaches you how to look for buyer. And some people will go and begin to look for buyer and begin to put in practice what they are learning from that material, which is good. The only challenge is that there's something they could have done or they should have done before putting into practice what is in that material. Before I continue, I would like to remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you are just seeing the video for the first time, if you are just coming into our space or visiting our channel or stopping by for the first time, and you're interested in growing your business outside, you're interested in earning foreign exchange, and you want to learn more about to minimize your risk and be able to go through this route of generating forex, minimizing your risk and losses, then you're in the right channel. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Don't just like the video, drop your comment. Let's know if you have questions about what we've shared and what we can do to improve about whatever it is that we've shared that is of interest to you. And of course, remember to click on the notification bell. So I was talking about a mistake you must avoid if you are trying to get buyer abroad. And that mistake is going online to promote your product to a particular buyer abroad when you are not ready for shipment. I've seen cases where individuals go online, promote product, buyer showed interest, buyer give them a contract, in some cases even give them a letter of credit. And they have to ship in 30 days. That is where they begin to look for funding. That is when they start looking for funding. Apparently, they don't know where to get the funding before they went abroad to find buyer. It is very, very important for any company going into the export market or export business to know that it's very unprofessional of you to be prospecting for buyers abroad when your company is not ready for shipment. You don't have the product or a means of getting the product or where to get the product or who to supply the product. You don't have the funding and you're looking for buyers. And you are lucky to get the buyer probably even sooner. And that's what happens sometimes. You get it sooner than you envisage. There's an adage in Yoruba culture that says that whoever know the day of good sales, of high demand for your product, knows the day of death. If you know the day there will be high demand for your product, you know the day of death. That means whoever know the day that a lot of people are going to come and buy. Maybe every day you sell averagely, maybe if you are in the market, 10 carton, 20 carton every day. You don't know the day someone will just come and buy 100 cartons. Whoever know the day whoever know the day of high sales volume know the day of death. The idea is you don't know when you might find someone who is really hungry for your product, who is interested in buying your product. That is the reason why you should be ready. I say, by the time you are going online to promote, you have the funding, you have the supplier, you know the place you are going to get the product. You know exactly where you are going to get the product from. You know exactly where you're going to get the product from. If that is not the case, do not go online looking for buyers. Don't do that. Don't do that. When you do that, you are going to be painting your country, because what some people don't understand is when you do international trade, you are actually you are representing your country. You are representing your country. What that basically means is that anything you do wrong is painting your country black. Is making them to have a very terrible or bad impression about your country, and invariably about other people who need their attention or who want to supply the same product in your country. So you might be hindering the chance of others. It's not just about you. Because international trade is about a nation. Even though as a company, your company is supplying, but if your product is bad, they will say, oh, Nigerian product is bad. It's not just your product now. Nigerian product is bad. Why? Because you are representing Nigeria on the global stage whenever you are going to export. You are representing Nigeria on the global stage. You are representing Ghana, you are representing Kenya, you are representing Africa on the global stage where you are exporting. That's why you cannot afford to mess up. To be ready for shipment is to either have the product available in the exporters in your warehouse and exporter, or have the fund for procurement available with a credible source of supply. So if you say you are ready before you start looking for buyer, it's either you have the product in your warehouse already under your control to sell, or you have the fund to be able to buy, and you have a credible source of supply that if you pay, you can get the product almost immediately. If this is not the case, particularly for commodity, for finished goods, you can go and buy from manufacturer, they produce every day. But for commodity, you are now going to go into the bush to go and buy, not because you have a merchant, maybe in the Davano market in Kano for Nigeria, or any country where you have merchant who you are picking it up from, or you are a farmer, you are going to have it yourself. You are going to have to go and start sourcing in the bush or in the villages. You might have to come back and amend the contract or amend the LC if you have a letter of credit. Why? Because going abroad, going online to look for buyer, the buyer is going to ask you a lot of questions. And the buyer sometimes will even ask you pictures of the goods. Sometimes they ask you sample. Pictures, sometimes they want to see the picture of your warehouse. They are trying to be sure you have the goods ready, because some of them have been disappointed in the past. So, it's very important, because failure to ship goods after signing the contract or even get an LC can make the buyer in the export market, make the buyer in the export market to disappoint his own user and consumer. Look, when someone gives you an order, more often than not, he also has people in supply, particularly for commodities. Even finished goods. If it's a distributor, he has retailers. If it's a commodity, he has manufacturers that is going to supply. So it might be disappointing his own end users, his own buyers, his own consumer, and that will make the buyer to put an end to further business with you. In fact, if they sign a contract with you, in some country, they might be incurring liabilities. That's why some people do liability insurance. Because if they fail, they might pay a fine for disappointing. Why do you sign when you can't deliver? Maybe you are not aware of this. Now you are aware of it. That you should not start promoting, so that the buyer will not be asking questions or ready to sign contract, and you are not ready, or you disappoint them. Remember, when you disappoint them, it's not just you or your business name. It is your country and probably your continent that will be seen as being unserious. And that might make it difficult for any other person in your country reaching out to that buyer to be able to get them to supply. I hope you have learned something in this conversation today. Another interesting protocol that must be observed in looking for buyer. If this video has been of immense benefit to you, subscribe to our channel. Like the video. Share with your friends. Drop your comment in the comment section. Let's know what you think. Let's know what you have learned. Let's know what you want us to talk about. And remember to click on the notification bell so you know when we are live for another video. My name remains Dela Yimibo, your export doctor, and I'm signing out. Bye-bye. See you in the next video. Bye for now.